Pues así está el pobrecito Huck.
Huckleberry, my noble, unwavering, wonderful Huckleberry left us this afternoon. With him, not only does the dog live, but a part of my life goes with him. 14 years together. 14 years where Huck was more than a companion. He was a silent witness to my good days and my darkest nights, my triumphs and my failures. He came with me to Spain, along with Peque, Ali, Vania, and Alba. Now all of them are gone, and with Huck, I feel like a chapter closes, like a light that had been shining for too long has finally gone out. Huckleberry spent his entire life with me after the family that had him abandoned him in a shelter in Georgia. Those who have followed me for a long time knows the story. Years ago, I told it in a YouTube video that went viral, not because of tricks or effects, but because his story was raw, difficult to digest. That was Huck, a dog impossible not to love, a mastiff of the old kind, the ones who watch and understand, who don't need to make noise to bait their presence long. Big, strong, imposing, but above all else, good to his very core. From the very beginning, Huck and Vania were inseparable, two shadows always moving together, until a couple of years ago, from one day to the next, Vania was gone. Huck felt the absence, but he was never alone. He was a generous dog, always ready to welcome any new rescue that arrived at the house. He was the eldest, but he never imposed his authority. He didn't need to. His presence alone was enough. He was balance, refuge, the certainty that everything was in its place. When you share your life with a dog for so many years, their presence becomes a living timeline. You don't just remember their story becomes entangled with your own. They remind you of who you were, where you were, what you felt at each stage of your life. When a dog like Huckleberry lives, a part of his story goes with him. And precisely that, is what hurts the most. There is a quote by Arturo Pérez Reverte that feels heavier than ever today. When a human dies, in many cases, though not all fortunately, the world does not lose much. But when a good dog dies, just like when a child dies, the world loses another chance to be better than it is. It becomes sadder and darker. And today, the world is a little worse. Huckleberry was a guardian without pretension, a protector without arrogance, a dog of the old breed, the kind that doesn't need words to be understood. Looking into his eyes was enough. In that gaze, there was an unfathomable nobility, an absolute loyalty, a love without conditions. He never demanded anything. He was just there, always. Sometimes he will rub against my legs. Other times he will step onto the terrace and bark, as if to remind everyone that this was his home, our home, and that he was there to protect us. And now he's gone. In our home, we have a ritual. When a dog leaves us, we sit together. We cry, we tell their stories, we keep their memory alive in words. And the next day, we usually rescue another, because in this house, there's always room to save another life. But I'll be honest with you, this time, I don't know if I can do it so quickly. Huck was not just another dog. He was history. He was family.
Huckleberry, ven aquí, ven aquí. ¿Qué tal? Huckleberry, Dios mío, qué tío.
I won't be with my children today, and when I talk to them tonight, I won't be able to tell them what happened. I will wait to see them in a couple of days, and then I will tell them, and without a doubt, we will cry together. We will remember Huck, the good dog who always wanted to be with them, who followed them everywhere, who didn't understand life without his pack. The pain of losing a dog like Huckleberry is unbearable. It is not just losing a friend, it's losing a love without conditions, a loyalty that never wavered. Because that's what dogs do. They make us the center of the world.
Ay. Huckleberry le ha dicho que le dejen secarse tranquilo.
We give them a home, food, love, but that is nothing compared to what they give us. They give us their entire life. And they do it with brutal honesty, without expecting anything in return. They forgive our bad days, our indifference, our rush. They endure being ignored, waiting patiently for a caress that sometimes never comes, and yet they never stop loving us. Today is one of the saddest days of my life, and I know this wound will never fully heal.
I want a better body, I want better skin, I want to be perfect.
Huckleberry lived 14 years, an extraordinary age for a mastiff. He reached the end with his dignity intact. He was never sick, not once, until in just a few hours he was gone. A thrombus, perhaps caused by tumors he only discovered that very morning. Tumors that never showed themselves until the final moment. And just like that, Huck disappeared. Today the world has lost a great dog. Today my world is a little worse.
I see the darkness where you see the light. It's all in my head.
Huckleberry witnessed my life. He knew me when I was single without commitments. He was there with me the day my life changed forever, when I became a father. He watched my children grow and protected them with absolute devotion. I will never forget my children running through the house and Huck following them, asking them, "Where are you going? What are we doing? Don't leave me behind. I want to be with you." And then running and playing with that immense piece of unconditional love following them, always watching over them. Today the world is a little worse. Today the world has lost a great dog. Rest in peace, Huckleberry. You will always be a part of us.